What's up, guys? Spartan85 here. Wanted to kind of bring to you guys a how do I do it video. I've had a lot of questions over the years, and especially recently. How the heck do you record? How do you start a YouTube channel? How do you do all that? And so I'm finally getting around to doing that. And I think I'm going to do kind of a multi-part series. So if there's something that you guys want specifically done as a tutorial about YouTube or recording or streaming, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to do one. But I'm kind of planning this first episode is going to be what equipment you need. I'm going to show an intro to OBS, how to get OBS started, how to set everything up, and then also Streamlabs, which is what I use for streaming. There's others out there you can use. There's XSplit, there's Elgato has their own recording software you can use, and they're all great, but I personally like OBS the most. It's the easiest to use. Now, I personally use Streamlabs to stream, and I'll get into more of those reasons later, but the main reason is Streamlabs version of OBS has all the streaming stuff you need built in. The chat box, the alert box, everything you need is built in. So, but you have to use Streamlabs, of course, and there's other ones out there like Stream Elements and all these other chat boxes that you can use, but if you use OBS, you have to copy a browser over. So I'm getting far into that. Let's step back into the intro. So how do we get started? Now, I know that Xbox and PlayStation have their own recording and streaming functions on their devices. So PlayStation actually has a video editor on the PlayStation. So you can record and then you can edit on the PlayStation and upload to YouTube. The problem with those is you're going to have to use probably a headset mic for your mic. And the problem with headset mics is, well, they sound like a headset mic. They don't sound like a professional mic. And people will notice that. And there's some pretty good headset mics out there that sound really good. But you're also using, like I said, a headset mic. So just keep that in mind. I haven't messed around with those very much. I have used the Xbox recording feature a couple times. It works really well. So if you guys want to use that, you can. I'm not going to make a tutorial on that. I'm going to show you guys how I do it. So what I use to record my Xbox gameplay and my PC gameplay is a capture card. And so you can buy them on Amazon. You can buy them through different websites. You can buy them on eBay. I personally bought my very first capture card, which is this one right here. It's the Elgato HD60 on eBay. I bought it for, I think, 60 or 70 bucks. It is an older capture card. It has a delay on it. And what I mean by that is there is a recording delay. There's like it's like a 7-second or 7 millisecond delay from it getting to your recording PC. So you have to delay your mic too and your camera. And so it was pretty difficult. It made streaming pretty difficult. Recording's okay because you can just add a delay to your mic, but it made streaming pretty difficult. But this is a good capture card. You can get them on eBay for like, I think 40 or 50 bucks now. The HD60S, the one that came after this and everything after it, does not have the delay. So the current capture card that I use now, and I got it on Amazon. The brand is Pecoxy, and I'll just put a picture up on the screen real quick of what it looks like. But that's what I got on Amazon. And I don't get any kickback from them at all. I just happened to buy it on Amazon, but it works great. It's 4K ready. It's USB 3.0, makes it really fast. And there's no delay. It does work really good. So you can get these capture cards for 40 bucks on Amazon. And this one, I will say, works great. It's the one I use currently. Now, why do you need a capture card? You can, if you're doing PC gameplay, you can record and play on the same PC. And I'll show you how to do that. Do I recommend it? No, I don't. I did it for years. And you can definitely see the stuttering and the lag sometimes on the recording because you are using the same CPU and GPU to play the game and record the game at the same time. So if you're using an older PC, like I did for a long time, then you're going to have some lag and some stuttering. Now, there are a lot of people out there that record on the same PC, and it works fine. I just want to tell you, I don't personally recommend it. Now, there are capture cards you can buy that are built into your PC. You put them in there, and it just works, and that's another way you can do it if you want to record on the same PC. Me, personally, I run a 2-PC setup. I have my older PC is my recording PC. It's an old Alienware R3, I believe. And then my newer laptop, is my playing PC. It's the one that plays the games better. It has a better graphics card, a better CPU. So I play on my laptop and I record on my old one. And I run it through a capture card. Next up is my equipment, and I personally run the blue snowball mic. You can get them at Target, you can get them at Walmart, you can get them on Amazon. They run about 50 bucks. It's an amazing mic. I've used it for a while now, and it sounds great. That's what I'm using right now to talk to you guys. Now, my very first mic was a toner USB microphone, the TC777, and you can get that one on Amazon for 31 bucks. It's the one that currently Steve uses right now for all of his videos. So if you want to go watch one of Steve's videos, it's the one he uses. I'll throw a picture up. That's a very good introductory mic for 30 bucks. I do recommend that mic. Like I said, I got the blue snowball for a birthday present a couple years ago, and I've used it ever since. I do recommend using a USB mic. They just seem to work better than the old 3.5 millimeter cables, so I do recommend a USB mic. And then you have to decide, do you want a camera? Now, I personally don't rock a camera in my recordings because I just don't feel like I need one. What I'm doing is I don't feel like I need a camera on my face the entire time. Plus, I pick my nose and do all kinds of stuff, and I don't want you guys seeing that. I'm kidding, by the way. A camera is nice for live streaming, though. I think it's more intimate, and people want to see what you're doing, and so I think a camera, me personally, I think a camera is better for live streaming. So if you want a camera, again, you can get those on Amazon. Now, I bought my webcam off Amazon. I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks. It's a 1080p, and it's 60 frames per second. I do recommend getting a 60 frames per second webcam. It just looks better. You'll notice if it's a 30, your motions aren't quite as fluid. So I do recommend getting a 60 frames per second camera if you can. They're running pretty cheap on Amazon and eBay. Just grab one. There are really good cameras out there, though, if you want a really good one. Logitech has a wide range of cameras ranging from $20 all the way up to like $300. So there's all kinds of different cameras you can get for your webcam. You're also going to want some type of lighting system. So I'll just show you guys real quick the difference in lighting. So I have two lights on me right now, and honestly, it's still kind of dark, but if you turn the lights off, notice how much darker it gets. You can't even see me. And then I'll turn the other light off. So it now just got really dark. So you'll want some type of lighting system too. You can get these on Amazon or eBay also. And the basics of hooking up the capture card. Here's the capture card. It's pretty basic. You're going to need HDMI cords. And I do recommend getting the 60 frames per second HDMI cords. Most of them made nowadays are. Most of the ones at Walmart and Best Buy are going to be 60 frames per second. They have 4K, they have 1080p rated. Make sure you buy the right HDMI cord for what you want to do. And it's going to have an in and it's going to have an out HDMI slot. So of course you want to run, let's say, for example, I'm using my Xbox. HDMI cord output from my Xbox will go in to the capture card, and then HDMI cord out will go to the monitor that you want to play with. Now you can, and I'll explain this in a second a little more, but you can use one monitor with OBS if you have a non-delay capture card. Most of the capture cards now made are non-delay. Or you can run an output to your monitor. Like I have a monitor off to the left, and that's what I run that's how when I watch my Xbox on. When I'm playing, that's how I view it. I have a separate monitor. So, and then you'll need a USB cable also. This one has an old school USB cable, and you'll run that to your recording PC. My other one has a USB to USB cable that you run to your PC, and that you'll run that to your recording PC, and then that's how you'll capture the actual video off the capture card. All right, so now that we're done with the equipment, let's jump over to the OBS part. Now, I do want to say that the newer versions of OBS, when you first download it, and you can download it anywhere, just Google OBS download, or I'll even put the link description the link in my description of the video. But once you download OBS, it'll actually prompt you. It'll ask you questions about what are your intentions. Are you recording, streaming, both? And it'll run a system check on your PC, and it'll kind of set up settings like automatically for your PC. And so like Steve just downloaded OBS, I don't know, a few months ago. He started making content, and it prompted him, and it set up settings tailored for his PC. So the new versions of OBS, like I said, they're going to do a lot of the work for you, but you're going to have to add the sources, and I will show you some more things you can do. And I'm going to start from scratch. If OBS doesn't show you how to do it, I will show you guys from scratch. So as you can kind of see what we're looking at like several layers of, because what I'm doing right now is I'm recording I'm doing a display capture of my PC. So that's why you see so many different screens going back. So not much I can do about that, but that's what we're doing. So if you look over at the bottom left here, when you first load OBS, these are all your scenes. Now this is going to be empty. And you actually go down by this X down here and you'll add a scene. And this is what it looks like, and you can call it whatever you want. I've already added one. It's called testing. And so it added my mic already. If it does not add your mic, you'll have to go over to sources over here, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. But the scenes are nice because you can do a bunch of different scenes. And I'll kind of go through some of the scenes real quick like I have. Here is my PC recordings one, which I don't have hooked up to anything right now. Here's my Xbox one that I call Xbox, but actually my other laptop is hooked to right now. So this is my other laptop hooked to my recording PC. Here's my live one, which basically is the same thing, but it has a webcam. So there I am on the bottom, and you can kind of adjust this however you need. Here's the one I just created right there. I have a chatting one, which is how I did my intro. So hi guys again. And then, you can do a start one, which my music's gonna play. I'll turn that off real quick, but has the intro music. There's my starting screen. There's my be right back screen. All that stuff. And I have a podcast and a Twitch one. So anyway, you can do different scenes. So let's go back to this one. So I would recommend adding as many as you want if you want. So let's do the testing one. So we have display capture. This is my source right here. So you'll need to add a source, and down here at the bottom is your plus, and so you'll click source. Here's all the different sources. And if you are recording on one PC, if you're playing and recording on the PC, you'll do game capture. And so this will actually choose the game that you want to capture. So if you want to create new, I'll go and create a new one right here, and then you'll actually choose, it says capture any full screen application. So basically whenever you load a game, it will capture it. And then you can actually go to, and I'm double clicking this. You can right click on this, go to properties, or you can just double click it. It goes to this screen right here. And so when you're playing the game on Steam, you can go here and you can actually view the actual game on Steam here. Or you can leave it to automatic, and it should capture the game automatically. Now you can run a game capture or a display capture. A display capture will basically capture whatever's on your display. So you can run that also instead of a game capture, whatever you want to run really. Now, if you're using a capture card, you'll go down to sources and you'll go to video capture device. So it's right here, and I already have, mine's called Elgato. Let's just create a new one. And then you're going to want to come and find the actual source that your capture card is. Mine is the C7 USB 3.0 video. So it's the video capture device. So let's click on that. Okay, and there's my Xbox. As you can see, now we're not seeing the display capture. So some capture cards bring over the audio from your capture device or your Xbox, PlayStation, whatever it is. Mine personally doesn't, so I'll show you guys now how to bring over the audio. So we go to audio input capture, add a source, audio input capture. We're going to do audio input capture. I'll just call it that. So there we go. Now I should have sound coming from my Xbox. I'll just kind of, yep, you can hear the sound right there. So now I have sound coming over from the Xbox. And what I did is I made the Xbox invisible. There it is right there. So that way you guys can see what I'm doing. Now, like I said, to add a microphone, it's the same thing. It's going to be audio input capture. And you can call this whatever you want. I'll name it mic 2, since I already have a mic. And you can add existing. If you already have something added, then you can add existing. And that's how you copy if you want to add. If you're adding a new source and you're adding stuff from an old source or another source, it keeps everything already in the system, so you can just add it directly from. So we'll go here, and then here is my microphone right there. So I would select it and then add it. I'm not going to do this because then I'll have 2 mics going on. Actually, I have 2 mics going on right now. Sorry about that, guys. So OBS makes it very easy to copy these sources too. If you want to just copy it, you can just right click it. Here's all the different options right here. You can copy the source. You can paste it over to another scene. Pretty easy. You can remove it. You can rename it. It's all pretty easy to do. Transform I use a lot. If you right click on it, you go to just transform. You can stretch to screen. You can fit to screen. So if you have one that's not fitting to the screen, you can stretch it or fit it to the screen. I also recommend when you bring in your video capture, we'll just go to it right now. We'll go to properties. go through these properties and make sure they're set to how you want it. Device default is fine to use if you want, or you can make it custom. If you go to custom, you can actually enter the resolution that you want. Frames per second, it says match output frames per second. I like to set that to 60 if we can. And then, so I'll show you where the output frames per second is in a minute. Right now it's set to match the output frames per second. So go through here and make sure that you have the settings that you want. Okay, one of the coolest and most important things I think OBS offers is the filters. And there's a lot of different filters you can use to tailor to your own needs. The biggest ones I use, of course, are for the mic. And even some of the best mics out there will still need some OBS filters. And so how you add them is you go down, there's this little 3 lines right here. You can just go right here and click on filters, or you can also go to the mic if you have a mic over here on the sources. But here is my mic right here that I'm talking into. So we're going to click here. We're going to go filters. I have 4 filters set on my mic, and here are the filters I personally use. I use noise suppression. I just use the basic one. I think it's good quality, more CPU usage. There's also a low quality one. I use the one that's good quality. And that does exactly what it sounds like. It suppresses background noise. Now, does it do perfect? No, you will still hear some keyboard noise. You might hear some mouse clicking, that kind of stuff. The next one is a limiter. Now, this will limit to a certain decibel, how high you want it. So if you're a loud talker like me, I'm a very loud talker, or you like your mic right in your mouth, then you might need to run a limiter. And I set mine at 10 decibels is what I do. And so if you, what I like to do is I like to have this up. I look down at my mic down here, and you can take the limiter off and kind of see, keep it between, I like to keep mine between 20 and 15 decibels if I can. Once you get up to like 10, you're getting pretty loud, and sometimes I do run 10, but I set my limiter at -10 and I turn my mic down to about right there. It's about 3/4 high is where I run mine. Now, this is for my mic. Each mic is different. My old toner mic ran a little hotter. I had to run a higher limiter and turn it down. It was just a hotter mic. So just keep in mind. I don't ever mess with the release 60 milliseconds. I really don't know what that does, so I'm not going to talk to it. I like to run a compressor. It just makes it sound better to me. I just run the bass. I just turn on the compressor. You can Google OBS compressor settings if you want and tailor them, but honestly, just the normal compressor settings that OBS runs makes it sound pretty good. So I run a compressor. Noise gate is a really good one if you're trying to eliminate keyboard and mouse noise, or controller noise. Sorry, I can't see noise all of a sudden. Noise. Some of my early videos, you could hear the controller clicking, and that's because I was using Elgato game capture that didn't have any filters. So noise gate is a really good one to take away that noise. Basically, it doesn't open the mic until it hits a certain threshold. It opens at -27 decibels, and then it closes at -36. That's how I have it set. So what I recommend doing is turn off all your filters, and what noise are you trying to eliminate? So click your mouse, or click your keyboard, click your controller. What decibel is that registering on your mic? So you'll look down here on your mic. Is it registering around 35, 30, 25? Me personally, a lot of my stuff registers around that 30 mark right here. So that's where I set my open threshold. I set it just below 30. So it opens anything at 27 decibels, it'll open that mic. So that's the filters I use. There's a whole bunch of other filters if you want. There's a gain one, so if you are running a mic that is very low, you can run a gain. There's a whole bunch of different stuff. So a lot of great filters. I also run filters on my game audio. I usually run a limiter on it just because, especially some of the older games like 7 Days to Die consoles, sometimes you'll get a zombie in your face and it's so freaking loud. So I like to run a limiter, and I set it pretty low. Mine's at 12. You can set it pretty low, but that just makes sure a noise doesn't sneak through. Or on a live stream. Sometimes you have a live stream and you have alerts that are super loud. Maybe you want to put a limiter on that. And I run a noise suppression too, just to make sure that nothing crazy gets through. Be careful, if you set too many filters, it will start to sound, very compressed or very filtery. So just keep that in mind. I have been doing YouTube for almost 4 years now, and I have been constantly tweaking my filters. It's just an ongoing battle. You can also set filters to video sources. So you'll click it, like here's my video capture device. I'll go to filters. And you have audio and video filters, and then you have effect filters. And so here are your audio and video filters. The one I have used in the past is a video delay. Like I said earlier, there's some capture cards that have a delay to the video. So you can run a delay to the video. You can also run a delay to your microphone also. So I really haven't messed around with too many audio or video filters. Like I said, I've run the delay before. I've had to do that. There's also effect filters. And I haven't messed around with too many of these, but you can change. You can raise the color. You can raise the brightness. You can sharpen it with all these filters. Now there is one more audio setting I want to show you guys too. It's the audio mixer settings. So down here, this little, I guess it's like a little cog down here. Here is your advanced audio properties. This is where you'll set an actual delay on your mic. So here it is right here. So my old capture card had a 750 millisecond delay. So I had to run a 750 millisecond delay on my microphone. And then I also had to run a delay on my camera also to match that up. And I swear to God, they never synced up. I can never get those things to sync up. But this is how you set a delay. You can also do overall left and right here. You can lower the decibels here. You can raise the decibels. You can also monitor it. So if you're doing some testing, you can click on monitor here. You can turn the monitor on, and you can listen. You can literally listen to yourself talk. You can listen to how it sounds for, that's how you turn on a monitor. So that's also a good way to monitor alerts too. You can run a headphone underneath your headphones or something like that and run a desktop audio monitor. That's how I do it. So right now we have a mic, we have the Xbox hooked up, and we have audio. We're actually ready to record right now. So whenever you're ready to record, you'll go over here and you'll start recording, or you'll start streaming, whatever you want to do. So we're pretty much ready to go. If you want to add a camera, you can. You go to scenes, and it's going to be a video capture device. You'll go here, we'll just create a new one, and I'll call this one camera testing, that way I know. You go here, and then we got all these different, so there's the USB live camera. That's my camera right there. So I couldn't get this one to work, guys, because it's already on another source and it's named something else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, I'm going to go video capture device, I'm going to go down to my camera, I'm going to add existing, click on camera right there. So there I am. Hi guys, I'm nice. And here's how you transform it. I'll go and show you guys how to do that real quick. So you guys can't see what I'm doing, of course, so but you can actually go up here and you can drag this. You can move this. I know it looks really weird, I'm sorry guys, but you can drag and move this a little bit if you want. And if you hold Alt and then grab one, you can actually do this. You can actually transform it a little better if you want. So you can do that. This makes it bigger like that, and then hold Alt on whatever corner you want and you can drag it. So I took the camera off, guys, so you can see what the heck I'm doing. So sorry, I had to get rid of my pretty face. But okay, so now I'll go through some of the settings that I use for OBS. So settings are up here at the top left. You go to settings. So here's all your general stuff. And like I said, most of this should be kind of set up already. So I don't do much in general. You guys can kind of go through this if you want. Here's your stream. This is how you'll log into Twitch and YouTube. So OBS, you can log in if you want to switch. You can only be logged into one basically at once. So, but you can switch pretty easy. You can log into Twitch, YouTube, whatever, and basically what you'll do is you'll just log into the account. So I'll switch over to YouTube, and then you'll connect your account here. You'll just click that, you'll connect it. You can also use the stream key. Now you can find the stream keys on Twitch or YouTube. You have to go to the actual stream manager, and you can find the stream key if you'd rather use a stream key. So, but let's switch back to Twitch. I'm already connected to Twitch. We're going to leave that there. Okay, I went ahead and hooked up my other laptop just to show you guys the settings in here. But these are the different video encoders. And so I do recommend doing research to see which encoder on your PC works better. If you have NVIDIA, the GTX, or the GT series, they have very good recording encoders. They actually have a separate part of the GPU set aside for recording, so you can play and record at the same time. So those are the NVEC. NVEC is the GPUs basically. So of using the GPU instead of the CPU to record. I have an AMD CPU, so that's why it says AMD. It'll also say Intel if you have an Intel CPU. So if you want to use your CPU to record, then you can use AMD 264 or AMD HEVZ. So your software 264 is kind of your default. That's going to use your CPU. So if you want to use that, you can. It really depends on your PC. Do you have a better CPU than your GPU? Maybe you want to use your CPU. Do you have a better GPU than your CPU? Vice versa, whatever. I personally like to use the GPU H264. That's personally what I like to use. I have a decent GPU on my recording PC, and so I use that. So that's what the difference is. Like I said, I recommend doing some Google research on which one's the best. AMD has pretty good recording CPUs, so that's a good one to use too. So just make sure the encoder is a kind of a big deal, and if you are having issues with stuttering or anything like that, I recommend trying a different video encoder and just try them, test them. Do a 10-minute video of each one and see which one looks better. Okay, so the video settings are right here. This is where you'll choose your frames per second and your resolution. So this is pretty key. If you're wanting to record in 1080p, you want to make sure to check 1080p. If you are able to record in 4K, this is where you choose 4K. So your resolution, this is your base recording resolution. This is your output. And so I recommend keeping those the same if you can. And then here's your frames per second. So that screen we saw earlier that said match output frames per second, this is your output frames per second. So 60, of course, looks the best, but if you're having to run 30, then do that. Now, I do recommend if you are recording and playing on the same PC and you're having issues, bump it down to 720. 720 still looks great on mobile devices and everything like that. So bump it down to 720 and try 30 if you have to. Try 30 or try 60. But mess around with these settings. Like I said, do some testing with all of these, figure out what works best. Now, I do like to mess around with the hotkeys. When you go down to hotkeys here, I personally like to have the pause recording. I use Z right now is what I use. So the key Z on my recording PC pauses and unpauses. That's a very good function to have. It makes your recordings a lot lower. So if you can do that, that'd be good to have. So I do recommend choosing a key for your pause and unpause. You can also do your recording, your start, your stop streaming, all that kind of stuff. There's a whole bunch of different hotkeys that OBS allows you to have. So you can mess around with these, but the main one I use is the pause and unpause recording. One other thing I'll show you is the docks. If you go to the top left and click on docks, here's all your different docks you can use. If you are streaming and you can't find your chat box, there's your chat right there. So there's your chat box right here off to the right. I'm going to close it because it gets kind of annoying when you're just recording. But here's all your docks. And so mess around with this if you want. Here's how I have mine set up. I like the audio mixer right there, the sources and the scenes, and then the chat. So feel free to mess around with these, set it up how you want. Now, your browser source from the sources is how you're going to add your chat box and how you're going to add your alerts and stuff like that. So we'll go here. I'll go to browser source. So here's all my different ones I've added. There's my alerts, there's my chat box, my sound alerts, and all that kind of stuff. So you'll go here. I'll just create a new one. And so you'll need to go to either streamlabs.com or Stream Elements or somewhere that gives you the alert box and the chat box. And it'll give you a link that you'll paste right here on the URL. And that'll give you your chat box, and that'll give you all that stuff. So that's how you do that. Okay, I'm just going to give an example of Streamlabs. You can use Stream Elements. There's a whole bunch of different websites that will do your chat box and your alert box, but I personally use Streamlabs. It's the easiest to use. So you'll log in with your Twitch account or your YouTube account. Then once you're into Streamlabs, this is just on the website on the desktop, but here is like it does a lot of tracking, but here's your alert box. And this is how you'll customize your alert box. There's the donations, subscribers, members, super chats, merch, cloud bots, and all that stuff. And this is what I was talking about. Here's your copy and paste right here. So click the copy widget URL. So you'll copy this. And then you'll go back to your OBS. I got a whole bunch of crap going on here, don't I? Let's get rid of this thing. Well, actually, that's the browser. So let me bring back the browser real quick. So you'll go to your browser, and then you'll copy, or I'm sorry, you'll paste it on the URL right here. So if I can actually get it. So you'll paste it. Boom, and there's your alert box. You put it right in the middle, and then if you want to test it, let's test a subscriber. Let's see if it works. There we go. There's my subscriber, so you can test it. So that's how you order your alert box, and then your chat box will actually be on the all widgets. If you just go to widgets, and they have a ton of widgets on here. Like there's the spin wheel, the emote wall, and a lot of this is going to cost money. It's going to cost a subscription, but they do offer a free chat box. And right here, you go under favorites, there's the alert box, the event list, tip goal, but here's your chat box. And you'll just go here, and you can customize your chat box here. And then you'll just copy and paste that into a new browser on OBS. So that's how you do the chat box if you're just using OBS. Streamlabs also has a cloud bot you can mess around with. Here's the cloud bot. You can do loyalty points. You can do giveaways. You can do all that. So it's all pretty handy. And it also handles your spam too. So if it kicks people out for using spam or too many caps or people posting links and stuff like that, you can customize all that here. So Streamlabs works really well with OBS. And if you guys would like to see more tutorials on Streamlabs or anything like that, let me know. This is kind of the basics. I know that's kind of confusing. That's why I use Streamlabs. So here is Streamlabs. We're here now. And what I mean by Streamlabs, I mean for live streaming. So here is your chat box here. It doesn't, of course, there's no chatting because there's no chatting going on right now. But you can literally load it and you can do all of your customization from inside the app right here. You can customize the font, what it looks like. You can see it kind of going across right there. That's what it's going to look like right there. You can change the font, the theme, all that stuff. And here's your alert box. So you can customize all your alerts with on Twitch and YouTube, both of them, whichever one you're streaming from. So your subscriptions, you can choose one. There is the follows, the super chats, subscribers, and so you can make them look however you want. You can choose your own emblem, and you can choose your own sound too, and they have all of that for you. You can use their basic sounds and emblems or whatever to call them, pictures for all of this stuff. So it's all, there's the media there, and there's the sound file right there. So I've added kind of all my own stuff, but that's how you add it. You can change it all here. So Streamlabs is really cool. And I'll just you can test all the widgets right here. So test. I recommend Streamlabs for streaming, but you can use OBS if you want. If you just want to stick to one thing, or your PC doesn't run Streamlabs. And I want to say Streamlabs is just a version of OBS. This is Streamlabs' version of OBS. So all the settings are this. All the settings look exactly the same. Like here's all the settings, the stream and the video and all that stuff. It all looks the same. Well, guys, I think I covered the basics. If there's anything else you would like explained or anything else I didn't cover, please let me know. But this is kind of the intro on how to get set up. I know it's a lot. It can be a lot sometimes too, but honestly, just getting in there, doing it is the best way to learn, and just learn that way. So, my next tutorial, I'm planning on doing editing. I'd like to show you guys how I edit and some of the tricks I do. I personally use DaVinci Resolve to edit, and I'll show you guys how I use that. There's some other editors out there though too. So until then, guys, I will catch you guys later. See ya. Bye.